rinse repeat with Kawhi Leonard and his knee. The word that came out yesterday is that he had a procedure, and Shams saying that the Clippers expect him. They're optimistic about his progress, and he will be limited to strengthening his knee to start training camp. So here we go again.
Yeah, I think there's been so little transparency with his physical condition, really going back to San Antonio. We had all the arguments between the team and him about how bad his knee was. Clearly, he was the one telling the truth, right? Clearly, his knee was in a bad shape where he needed to do all these things to keep it straight. I remember the 2019 finals. I went to a couple games in that playoff run during that run. And I remember you would see him, and somehow the TV cameras never picked this up. He was laboring. Like, he put on one of the great postseason performances of all time. But you could see that his knee was a problem. And when people talked about load management, the league put out a statement saying that this is what was necessary to maintain his knee. He is, in a lot of ways, a Bill Walton type of figure, except he's gotten to the end of enough seasons that you don't, he's got 2 finals MVPs. You don't have like full 2-3 seasons where he doesn't play. But this is actually, I think, far more tragic than we give it credit for, because he doesn't really talk. And so that's led us to have all these questions about what the problems are. But this is one of the greatest players of all time. And it's a shame that through this, he's been a 30, 40, 50 game a year player for basically the better part of the last 8 years.
Yep. Now we kind of understand why he didn't do the Olympics. I was wondering why he was doing the Olympics.
I think he was doing the Olympics because you're not going to hear people say he's one of the greatest players of all time. 2-time finals MVP with 2 different teams, maybe the greatest defensive player of his generation, who by the end of it turned himself into a 50-40-90 guy while being an incredible defensive player. I think the superlative elements of his game, we don't talk about that much, and that for him was the box to check on the resume. He should have been on that Olympic team. He is a player of that caliber.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
But that's why he did it, I think.
I was not wondering why he was playing it because I was questioning his ability. I know that. I just was wondering, clearly, he wasn't fully healthy towards the end of the Clippers season.
I think he wanted to check that box, man. I think he badly wanted to be able to check that box. And so I root for him and hope it works out in the end. But, I think he's done. I just don't think there's how much longer can we keep playing the same game?
And then they opened a building with Paul George in Philadelphia. They do. So the Clippers got this beautiful new dome. Come on out here and watch Zubac play a 2-man game with Terrence Mann? Is that what it is?
I would say 2 things about that, right? Number one, they're now a legitimate NBA franchise again, which they had not been for so long. I think that helps with the building.
Right.
Number 2, let us all be honest about the purpose that the Clippers serve in this city. If you want to see the Lakers, you go watch the Lakers. If you want to go watch a basketball game, you go watch the Clippers. Right? It's an affordable price.
Yep.
And you can, like when the first year of the Heat, when LeBron was there, when I used to come to town for Jim Rome's show, I watched them play at the Staples Center, playing against the Clippers.
Yep.
Those tickets were affordable, right? So like it's almost like a Vegas show, right? Like, hey, you want to go watch basketball? Sure, we'll go watch basketball, and then you show up and it's the Clippers. And so that's what they can still serve. I think they'll be a pretty decent team. But, I asked this question also. How many people are really spending money to go watch Kawhi Leonard play basketball?
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.